Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Charles Alpha. You can watch this news on Vision TV 24/7 and other social media platforms displayed on your screen. My sign language interpreter is Taiwo Zama. But first, a quick look at some of our top stories. Central Bank of Nigeria increases interest rates to 26.25% in a bid to halt rising inflation. 2024 second extraordinary session of ECOWAS Parliament gets underway in Kano, focusing on regional integration and security. Iranian National Assembly holds first meeting as leaders honor late President Ibrahim Raisi. We begin from Gombe State, where the governor, Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya, has promised to consolidate on human capital development by investing in healthcare, quality education, job creation, and skills development. The governor was speaking to State House correspondents after an audience with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the presidential villa. He also put the proposal of the creation of state police, which he said will address the current security issues across the country.
And very soon, because inadvertently, it is the states that are managing security now. Because you find that every state has its own arm of security that is supporting the security agencies in order to. And even though it is said that the governors are the chief security officers, the men on the command on the ground, meaning either GOC or police commissioner or any IG posted to the zone, is only responsible to his commander here in Abuja. So before action is taken, it takes time. But with the state police, you will be able to monitor the pulse and implement any decision hastily, and there will be results. That is our conviction. I think many of the states will go along that line.
He notes that at the last Northeast Governors meeting held in Bauchi, the governors agreed to provide 10 megawatts of solar power.
And all the governors are amenable to working with the new Electricity Act, knowing that so far, one leg has not been able to deliver us. Whatever we had before was not able to take us out of this situation. And I think the approach now is better. So we hope to overcome it. As I'm talking to you now, it's almost 4 weeks that Gombe had no electricity power because of vandals that attack the transmission line. Ordinarily, it should not be so. We should have so many arms of the transmission company reaching to our place. But we have been shortchanged because of so many policies of the past. But now we'll take advantage of liberalization as brought by Mr. President.
The 2024 second extraordinary session of the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament gets underway in Kano, focusing on regional integration and security. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that at the opening session, Governor Abba Kyari Yusuf calls for an urgent agenda that will translate to regional security and economic prosperity in the region.
This is the first time the second extraordinary session of the 6th legislature of ECOWAS Parliament is sitting outside Abuja. Parliamentarians agree the task ahead of the 6th legislature is enormous. Challenges around security, climate change, and common currency are on the table. Acting Speaker, who doubles as Deputy President of the Nigeria Senate, Barrow Jibrin, agrees that a united and stronger democracy of West Africa can only prosper in the region with the respect for human rights and rule of law.
I will, in consultation with my colleagues on the Bureau, be proposing the appointment of an ad hoc mediation committees whose mandate will be to work within all stakeholders in getting our brothers to rescind their decision and come home and work towards promoting dialogue with a view to resolving conflicts in the region. There's no doubt that we are stronger together.
The regional integration will no doubt create new opportunities for economic diversification as well as wealth creation, while at the same time supporting the creation of formidable firewalls that will protect communities and member states from visiting insecurity occasioned by banditry, terrorism, and other violent extremism.
We are hoping that the discussion at this extraordinary session will go beyond adopting your rule of procedures and other plans on guiding the businesses of the legislature, but also you set up a strategic plan.
During the session, a senator from Nigeria, Alain Dume, was inaugurated as member of the CIS Parliament. A new speaker of ECOWAS Parliament from Togo is expected to emerge at the CIS session. From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Elsewhere, a funeral procession for President Ibrahim Raisi and other Iranian officials who died in a helicopter crash has been held in Tehran, Iran. A 5-day mourning has been announced by the Vice President Mokhtar, who secured approval to assume duty as interim president. Kolo Mohammed tells us more.
Ibrahim Raisi was declared dead on Monday after rescue teams found his crashed helicopter in a fog-shrouded western mountain region, sparking mourning in the Islamic Republic. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has ultimate authority in Iran, declared 5 days of mourning and assigned Vice President Mohammad Makbir to assume interim duties ahead of elections within 50 days. Thousands participated in a funeral procession alongside a lorry carrying the coffins of President Ibrahim Raisi and his 7 aides in Tabriz, East Azerbaijan region. Tens of thousands of Iranians gathered to mourn Raisi and 7 members of his entourage who were killed in a helicopter crash. Mourners later carried the coffins in preparation for burial. Petals were dropped near the statues of late Ibrahim Raisi. The Iranian Supreme Leader had assured that there shall be no disruption in running national duties. This he ensured by immediately granting permission to the Vice President to assume interim duties as President until election is held within the next 50 days going forward. The late President was described as an asset to the Islamic Republic of Iran. His death came at a time the nation needed his contributions the most. These were the words of the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei when he eulogized the late President and granted permission to the Vice President to assume the role of an interim President. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And several Iranian leaders honored the late President Ibrahim Raisi in Tehran on Tuesday during the first National Assembly of Experts meeting since the president's death. Over now to Comfort Fashion for details of that report.
President of Iran's National Assembly of Experts, Ayatollah Muhammad Ali Movahidi Karmani, in an address said, and I quote, "We offer our condolences to those who have passed before us, and on top of them is the honorable character, Ayatollah Raisi, the popular president of our country." End of quote. Members of the Assembly as well as foreign guests, former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad also participated in the meeting. Karmani congratulated members for attending the session and prayed God to help them fulfill their duties well in this dangerous period. Raisi served as a South Khorasan representative in the Assembly. Representatives of the Iranian Supreme Leader to East Azerbaijan, Ayatollah Muhammad Ali Al-Hasham, who also died in the helicopter crash, served as a representative of Tabriz. The Assembly of Experts is responsible for overseeing the activities of Iran's Supreme Leader and selecting the next leader. The Assembly comprises 88 members, each serving an 8-year term. Members are elected by the Iranian people through direct voting. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei declared 5 days of national mourning. First, Vice President Mahmoud Mokhba will take over as acting president for an interim period, with elections scheduled after 50 days. Deputy Foreign Minister Ali Bagari Kani becomes acting foreign minister. Global leaders, including those from Russia, India, Iraq, Syria, Egypt, and other nations, have extended their condolences. Raisi was elected in 2021. Comfort, fashion, NTA News.
From Iran now, we'll take you to India, where citizens in the capital, New Delhi, are experiencing harsh weather as heat wave emerges, making temperatures hit 4.4 degrees Celsius, the hottest temperature countrywide, with Delhi city officials asking schools to shut down early for the summer holidays. Kula Mohammed reports.
Due to blistering heat, daily activities in and around India's capital, New Delhi, have been affected, leading to the closure of many business stalls, official municipalities, and even schools. Officials have begun to inform residents about dangers of heat wave, which they say is imminent, hinting at possible conducts that can reduce the effect of exposure to the heat. These include dressing clothing that are not heat conductors, stay home unless absolutely necessary to go out, avoiding needless crowded areas, and so on. Pedestrians were also advised to settle for walking around under umbrellas, drinking water as much as possible, and ensure avoidance of direct sun rays. United Nations says more than 2 million children are exposed to heat waves.
The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived. The air is unbreathable, the heat is unbearable, and the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
Officials say, should this persist, schools may have to close earlier than scheduled for the summer holidays. Kula Mohammed, NTA.
Meanwhile, Finland's right-wing government has proposed a new law that would allow frontier guards to turn away asylum seekers at the border. This followed a migrant surge which is believed to have been orchestrated by Russia-Ukraine crisis. Comfort Fashion has the report.
Prime Minister Patari Orapo said the proposed law is aimed at managing instrumentalized migration and counter the pressure exerted on Finland. The law encapsulates a restriction on the reception of applications for international protection, which could be enforced in limited areas along Finland's border for a fixed period of 1 month maximum, thereby preventing asylum seekers from entering the country. In these restricted areas, only asylum seekers in special needs of protection, such as children or people with disabilities, would be allowed to seek protection according to the proposal. Their eligibility to apply would depend on an assessment of their case by border guards. Sanapalo, who is in charge of legal matters at the Interior Ministry's Border Guard Department, said others would be expelled in the first instance by verbal order, which will be reinforced by force if necessary. Helsinki has blamed the surge on migration on Russia-Ukraine crisis, a charge the Kremlin has denied. The Nordic country closed its border with Russia in mid-December after the surge of migrants. It also extended the closure several times before announcing in April that the border would remain shut indefinitely. Comfort, Fashion, NTA News.
You're still watching the news on NTA International. We will take a quick break now. Please do stay with us for more reports ahead.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman Interministerial Committee on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Administration's first anniversary, Senator George Akume, CON, invites all members of the Interministerial Committee, civil society organizations, stakeholders in the media industry, and interested members of the public to the World Press Conference to unveil activities to mark President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Administration's first anniversary, scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Wednesday, 22nd May 2024. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. Announcer, Muhammad Idris FNIPR. Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation and Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee.
Thank you for staying with us. As the world comes together to celebrate the vibrant tapestry of cultures on International World Culture Day, we are reminded that our diversity is our greatest strength. From the vibrant attire of the Yoruba people to the rich musical heritage of the Igbo and the rich cuisines of the North, Nigeria is a melting pot of diverse cultures. In this report, Gufan Shaji Wanyi takes us on a journey to explore the beauty of Nigerian culture and the significance of this day.
Nigeria is a country with over 250 ethnic groups, each with its unique culture and traditions. As a people with one song. Today, we celebrate the diversity that makes us strong.
To build a people is to reorientate them appropriately in their cultural understanding and appreciation. To kill a people is to take their culture away from them, and they will need to revisit how to incorporate, and imbue culture into our policy formulating processes as a country.
Cultural diversity is the strength of Nigeria, and it's also a day we're also creating awareness on the need for cultural dialogue, and as well to create awareness on the potentials of the Nigerian culture and the creative economy.
As we celebrate International World Cultural Day, we remember that culture is not just about tradition, it's about the future. It's about the next generation of Nigerians who will carry on our legacy. International World Cultural Day, Nigeria. May our diversity forever be our strength. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
And joining us now live in the studio to discuss World Culture Day is the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Obi Osika. I want to say thank you very much for finding time to talk to us on NTA International.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, can you help us highlight the significance of marking World Culture Day?
Well, I mean, the thing is this. I think, first of all, happy World Culture and Diversity Day to everybody and all Nigerians. One of the things that is evidence is that Nigeria has incredible, vast, untapped resources and reservoirs of cultural power. And at the NCAC, at the National Council of Arts and Culture, we're deeply focused on aggregating the culture, bringing it together so that we can actually engage it, and then giving Nigerians the opportunity to touch that culture and to connect in a better way, what I call connected cultures. Because as long as you go, anywhere you go in this world, you're going to encounter Nigerians. There's 1 in 6, I believe, Africans are Nigerian, or 1 in 8 black people anywhere in the world. So we have an enormous impact, and the footprint we leave is endless and can be seen everywhere. One of the things that we're really engaged with is how we can combine digital technology and digital platforms and the ancient culture and the modern pop culture and bring them all together. We have a very young country with an average age of 17, 18. That 17, 18 demographic, 16 to 35, we're really focused on those people because we want to get them connected to the indigenous culture. We don't want them to forget where they're coming from. Just as they go forward, they need to carry the culture with them. So right now for us, that's the power of the day. Those images you're showing on the screens are all speaking to what I'm talking about. The colors, the vibrancy, the energy, the attitude, the personality, the ability of Nigerians to unlock opportunities. And for us as an institution, as an agency, we are here to protect, project, promote, and preserve Nigerian culture.
Okay, so for this year, the theme is Discover, Experience Diversity. Do we use this to foster unity in nationhood?
Well, for us, we feel that strongly at NCAC that Nigerians really don't even know Nigeria that well. So we have a pillar and a platform in our strategic roadmap. It's called Discover Nigeria. And over the coming weeks, you will begin to see that come out into the public consciousness as we begin to work with strategic partners in the private sector, in the multilateral and other government agencies to connect everybody better. We're working in a collaborative fashion with all the agencies and the MDAs in our sector, and also people beyond the sector, because really culture is life, right? And if culture is life, And when you look at what is happening right now, what I call Nigerian soft power is enormous. We haven't really tapped into it. I believe the government is just beginning to invest into it. And even Nigerians have to understand that this is very, very serious business. Culture is not just something you put on the wall and let it go. It is not static, it evolves. And what you have to remember is that with all the diversity we have in Nigeria, with all the languages, we have begun to aggregate all the cultures of Nigeria, and we're bringing together in one place, and very soon you will begin to be able to engage that and connect to it. And from the average Nigerian on the street to academia, the traditional rulers, the state governments, we're building with all of them together. And I think that we're going to create something really special, because what I'm already seeing is letting me know that what my assumptions were about the length of our culture and the depth of our culture, I was vastly understating the possibilities and the depth of what we have in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much for your time. The DJ, National Council for Arts and Culture, Obi Asika. Thank you so much for
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. And now, in a bid to sustain efforts towards reducing inflation in the country, the Central Bank of Nigeria has increased monetary policy rate by 150 basis points to 26.25%. Musa Bouakar reports that this was the position of the CBN and Monetary Policy Committee after reviewing recent economic and financial developments within and outside the country.
To address the security of farming communities, to guarantee improved food production in these areas. Further observed the recent volatility in the foreign exchange market, attributing this to seasonal demand, a reflection of the interplay between demand and supply in a freely functioning market system.
All right, we'll now bring you our weather report. All right, this is where we end the news. I am Charles Alpha. Taiwo Azoma has been our sign language interpreter.